Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hermit Skies. We are in the Nether, of course. We never usually start an episode of it. We never usually start an episode. I didn't even plan that. Over here there is the digital miner which we made. This is part of the mechanism mod. Of course, we unlocked this thing doing the quest book, and I didn't think I'd have a use for it, but I investigated it, and it turns out it's going to be useful for something we're going to be doing in the future. This block right here, though, looks kind of crazy. The thing we will do in the future is a mod called Project E, and some of the crafting recipes for this stuff are absolutely mental. They are bonkers, as you can see, and there are some materials in here that we need to get our hands on. Hyper diamonds is one of those. We know how to create them, but we don't know where to get the graphite ore from. And the other thing is iridium, which pops up somewhere in here. There's many different recipes, and I was having a look through it all. Ah, there it is. No, that's the HDPE sheet that we've made. Well, trust me, somewhere in here with all this crazy stuff that we got to craft, there is iridium. So I'm trying to get my hands on these things, and I've done it successfully using the digital miner. So this has been chunk loaded. It's got power over here. You can't put the dimensional transceiver directly next to this block. You have to use a conduit. And then in here you can see that we have gotten nether iridium ore. So what the digital miner does, it's like a quarry, except you have to specify which things it's going to get for you. And I've done that by going into the config. So if you click on stop, it's not going to let us config. We're going to have to pick it back up again and put it down again. And that's fine, because I want to move it to another dimension now. So let me go and show you where we're going to get the graphite ore from. So here we are, the mining dimension. You'll see in my inventory that I've got some graphite dust already. I need to fly over in this direction a little bit, because last time I did it in the area behind me. And what we've got to do is set this thing up to look for that stuff. You can also put it in silk touch mode, which is why I have the nether iridium ore here and not the ore block for that. So that was something that I learned. But over here you can tell it how far to look, 32, what height to mine from. We're going to put that down a little bit. Let's check our F3 level. We're actually up as high as 80, so we'll probably set it to start looking from around that height. And wow, every time I've clicked on that button before, I've never seen anything, and it makes sense why now, because all of that was underground, I guess. Let's turn that off. Let's turn this thing down to about... Oh yeah, you have to type it in and then click there. I always seem to think that's a slider for some reason. Then over here you can create filters, and because I don't already have these items, it was kind of hard to make a filter, except you can go to the ore dictionary, and in here you can type in the ore dictionary name. So my first mistake was to add ore iridium. Can you see it there? It's above the blue text. It's actually ore nether iridium, which I need to add, and that's all you need to type in right there. So of course I've already typed these in, and we're looking for those three things. So it's only going to find the graphite ore over here in this world. Let's put silk touch on. It is on, good. And we're going to start it in just a second. Got to give it some power. Bam, that's literally all you need to do, and now we can tell it to go. And it's found some straight away. Industrial grade graphite ore, and another bit there. That's absolutely fantastic. But we're not going to be getting into Project E in this episode. I was just doing some preparation, thinking ahead. What we're actually going to do is focus on getting ourselves some draconic armor. Fancy new tools and fancy new armor. This might be exactly what we need to take on the Chaos Dragon, and I am so excited to check this stuff out. I've already made the tools right here. They've been fully charged with lots of power, and this stuff just looks so cool right here. The recipes are kind of all the same, so we've got all of this stuff prepped. And then when it comes to upgrading our armor, we need to take off our current armor and use the fusion crafting to go through. And again, all the recipes are the same, so I can kind of take this stuff off right now, chuck it in there and make the armor, which is seriously cool. If we hop into our storage though and just type in sword, you'll see I've already got two of these, and these are actually for... Oh, they've already been fully charged as well. Do you know what? I'm going to make myself another one of those quickly. So we need both of those to make some sort of block. I don't know, it was in the quest book. So that's why we've got two of those already there. Now you see this thing is slowly charging up, right? That's because we've got wireless chargers around the base. What I'm going to do is drop it down here and put it in my hand, and then bam, it's fully charged. And I believe all of that charge just came from this thing right here that holds 256 million. Now if I remember correctly, the way these things work is rather than have durability, they have charge. So if we're using a tool and we've got this thing in our inventory, it's going to continuously charge it, and it's going to hold lots and lots of power as well. So dare I break some blocks of it. I won't use vein miner. You can see it gets instantly charged. That's pretty cool. And there's all sorts of things we can do with these tools. We can give them upgrades and whatnot. But as of right now, it's time for me to stop flying. I hope we get to keep that. I think a full set of this armor allows you to fly. Now, once this is done, of course, it's going to go back into the storage system, but we can access that wirelessly. Oh boy, that's a quest complete. Of course it is. Awesome. And let's just equip this stuff. I've got a feeling it might supercharge when you're wearing it. Yes, because it's the equivalent of holding it. Wow. Don't we look fancy right there? Man, that is some awesome looking stuff right there. You'll also see that in the bottom left we've now got some meters on the screen. I kind of remember what those do. What I want to do is learn it all again and show you exactly how all of this stuff works. So I've claimed my reward from the quest book, and it's reminded me about the Draconic armor, which I thought was actually locked behind killing the Chaos Dragon, right? Well, I'm glad I decided to click over here because we can actually make this right now. We do have to make a dire crafting table, and that is extremely simple. So these things are made with diamonds and nether stars. We got those for days, so we can make the table. We can make the ingots seen here. We're farming the Awaker and Draconium, and both the Draconic energy cores and these Awaken cores we can make with fusion crafting. I think one of them requires you to have the Draconic tier, which of course is what we've got right here. So we actually have everything we need to go to the next level. Right, let's do this. Let's get ourselves upgraded already. And by the way, I can't fly. I'm double tapping spacebar unless there's another way. I can't fly with this. There's probably like an upgrade you need to make or something silly like a button that I need to go find. But I'm just going to enjoy walking around the base a little bit at the moment, you know. I don't do that enough, do I? I just got a ding-a-ling in my ear for this thing right here. Oh, that rhymed. And it unlocks Project Evolution, so we can now see the final part of the quest book. That is seriously cool. We've also got 2 of these. Oh, could have done with that earlier. And oh, that's pretty awesome. That one right there. 2 quite good rewards, actually. Aha! Aha! I can shift them in. Well, that makes my life a heck of a lot easier, doesn't it? Oh, wow. I'm so glad that that is there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Don't mess with this fella. Draconic armor. Wow. Oh, that looks even better than the last one. Look at my crazy headpiece. Man, this stuff looks so cool. Can I fly? I can fly with this set of armor. Amazing. Excellent. So, my friends, I've been learning about these armor and tools, doing some experiments in this world, and, you know, periodically going into F5 mode and checking out how I look. Oh, it's so cool, this armor. And a lot of what I'm going to explain to you right now, not 100% knowledgeable on what's going on. I've just done some research, some reading, and some experimentation myself. And also, I really feel like I'd love to use this mod in an actual sort of survival environment, right? I mean, we've got flight in my base, which is peaceful. I'm never really fighting mobs or digging terrain, and that's kind of what this stuff is useful for. So let's throw down a couple of pigment and talk about the bottom left of my screen. You'll see there is an armor meter. Now the 512 are the amount of armor points. That's this little meter right here, I believe. Below it there is a green bar which is known as entropy, and the one below that, the blue bar, I believe is the amount of RF that we have. So if I attack these fellas, they're going to start attacking me. And what you'll see is that the green meter is going to go down, and that acts as a sort of buffer between you taking damage. So the 512 number stays, you know, relatively around 512, occasionally 511. As we lose more and more of that green bar, we start to take more damage on the armor bit that recharges. So all I really got to do is stand here for a moment, and you'll see now it drops down to like 08 and 09. And as that entry bar gets lower and lower, I start taking more and more damage. But it recharges really quickly. And now that it's on 0, you can see it's not recharging. So if I back off, it'll start to recharge, but only very, very slowly. And I've noticed that the entropy gets stuck around here, 88%. This time it's going back up. Interesting, because I've done a couple of experiments with this. If we go into our inventory, you'll see that this thing is it's actually not losing power. Okay, so where are we losing power from? I'm not sure. It was losing power to recharge this last time I experimented. Well, you know, I'm still learning about this mod. Maybe actually it's done recharging. Let's drop back down here and stand in the middle of them, and you can see each time we take damage that number goes down and we're recharging instantly. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? And I'm going to stand in this view again. So there's also a menu for this mod. If I press the key that I've assigned, we get this HUD right here, heads up display. And if I click on that bit, we can adjust the HUD, which is this. So you can move where this appears on the screen. On that side, you can change the rotation of it as well, I believe. Where is the option for that? So this one here rotates. Yeah, so you could put it on the side of the screen. There's also a numeric option, so you could turn off the numbers if you wanted to. I like that customization. That's cool. You can change the scale, of course, and you can do that on this thing over here. So there's a little pop-up that tells you about your tools. So if I scroll through, you can see that there's a whole bunch of information about how they've been configured. And through this menu, you can actually configure the tools individually. So I've been messing around with like the shovel, and in here you can adjust the dig depth, which is how tall and low it digs. You can adjust the area it digs with. You can get it to show you where it's going to be digging. Now those pigmen are going to follow me, but what we'll see is that we're going to dig downwards, and it highlights the blocks we're going to be digging, which is, oh, I think we can go sideways if we hit the side of the block. Awesome. So that's kind of cool and powerful, right? But notice how it is an instant mine. If we go back into the book, I clicked on the wrong thing, and we go to dig speed multiplier, it's at 100%, so we can actually slow this all the way down, which would be kind of useful if you're carefully digging some stuff. You don't want to instant mine and break something accidentally, but obviously digging at that speed is kind of ridiculous. Now we can upgrade these tools, so then we'll be able to instant mine stuff, and then we can adjust this to do that. But as of right now, we're not doing that. And this one right here, show dig area of effect, that's how we get those little lights appearing. So yeah, you can also create profiles as well, and then switch between the profiles, so you can quickly change the settings of your tools. All of this stuff is like absolutely fantastic, I think. And I haven't actually clicked on the armor over here, so it looks like we can configure this. Oh, hello, 600%. What? Oh my goodness me. And we only clicked on one piece of armor. What if we click on the boots? Right, so this does other things like spin. Oh, wow. Okay, that is really powerful. So we've got another... Oh, goodness me. I'm going to have too much fun with this. We can add 200% there. So this is the one where we just added 600. Inertia cancellation. I'm going to have to look up the meaning of inertia again. Boost on sprint. Vertical boost. Oh. Oh. This is some powerful stuff. Oh, okay. Right, now that's interesting because you double tap to go from regular to creative flight. I might mess around with turning that on permanently for a little bit, so we can have night vision and night vision lock. And now, whoa! I'm sorry if this is making your motion sick. Oh my goodness me, that is absolutely crazy and wonderful. Yeah, I'm really glad that I decided to check this mod out. This is super cool. I'm going to have to turn those back down, though, because I might get a little sick myself, you know. Okay, first problem with leaving the creative flight locked on is that when you try and anchor yourself on the ground, hold down shift to go through a portal, you're sort of not actually on the ground. Oh, and I've come back through. Have I come back? Yep, that happens sometimes. But as you can see, just holding down shift just slows me down while I fly. So I'm probably not going to leave that one on. I've also adjusted my flight speed so that I am around 10% faster in total. You actually have to have this at 100 by default. So let's go and turn that off. And then now we should be able to walk again. Excellent. So now what I think I need to do is a little bit of research and find out if we're going to be able to take on the Chaos Dragon with these weapons and this armor. Which reminds me of something. You can upgrade the weapons, you can upgrade the tools. We should probably do that for the weapon if we're going to take on the Chaos Dragon, especially the bow, as that's probably going to be most useful. Now these are the upgrades right here, and initially I was quite confused because when you hold down shift it shows you these different sets of ingredients, but then I realized those are for fusion crafting. So if we go over here and we press U for usage, you can see that you have to put one of these upgrade keys in with the right things and the right tool to make the upgrade that you want. Then if I go from left to right, you can see the different tiers that you do this at. So I'm going to have to do basically a massive amount of fusion crafting again and upgrade our weapons all the way. And there's a lot of upgrades, so I'm going to have to be careful about which ones I pick and which ones I want to add. Apparently we can upgrade our shield capacity as well. Right, yeah, we probably want all of this stuff sort of loaded into us. Bigger shields will help us against the Chaos Dragon, I guess. So, looks like I'm in for another round of lengthy fusion crafting. So in preparation for crafting, I've probably missed out on one of the most interesting tools of all, which is the bow, the thing that we'd use in the fight the most. And this actually has a lot of upgrade stuff going on for it. So we can do draw speed, we can do arrow damage, and arrow speed as well. All of those are cool. I think I'm going to just upgrade those, as we're probably not going to use the sword too much. And I want to upgrade my armor so I'm protected as well. However, these ones are going to be a pain in the butt because of the crafting recipes, which are going to walk us through lots of different stages. So I'll get all of that done. I think we've got to do that 4 times each, or was it 3 times each per item, and then we got 4 items, so yeah, a lot of crafting. But anyway, if we look at this thing, we can actually configure it in here, and you can actually do this, the arrow of Draconic fire, where instead of using arrows, you actually just use energy. So when I shoot an arrow, you can see down here that that is going to go down just a tiny teeny bit, and I'm guessing the more of these features that we use, the more that's going to go up, because it provides something called shockwave that creates a powerful wave that does damage to nearby entities, and then we can increase that all the way up to 4. So I'm guessing if I pick on one of these sheep, and then it might hit its friends. Oh, goodness me. That is destructive, and it's used up, yeah, a fair bit of power. But there are more options still. Let's go in there. So we can increase the base damage up to 3. The velocity modifier, that's for the distance. Let's just chuck this all the way up to the top. Auto fire. Oh, that's really interesting. We can give it explosive power. So I've come to this world because we might blow something up now. And apparently... Oh, what was that tooltip about? Can I not do that then? Explosive and not horrible with the arrow. Ah, I see. So what I need to go do is turn off the other one. This one at the top here. So we'll turn that off. And shockwave is only possible. Right, but can I shoot now? No. Alright, so this should explode. Ooh, but the arrow kind of didn't really go quite to where I was pointing. This is going to require some experimentation. The one I was most interested in, though, is magnification. We'll put it up to 600. We're going to turn this off because it was a bit bonkers. And we should see that from far away. Let's get one. Like, oh, wow. That was actually not what I was expecting. And it messed up the view a little bit. Okay, let's aim just above it. Okay, so if we aim slightly above something, wow, that's bonkers. I thought what it was going to do is just enable you to shoot further away more accurately, but not actually zoom in. This is cool. I'm liking it. This bow is awesome. I am having a little bit too much fun with this, but I'm also zipping through some of the power that I've got here. Wow, the sky has turned dark. It's like 1,000,000 per shot, I think, at the moment, so we'll probably want to upgrade the RF capacity for this. There is a thing to upgrade RF capacity. I don't know if it will work on this item, though. That's what I've got to figure out. But then it means we want to make upgrades for that, our bow, all of this as well. We're going to end up making a ton of upgrades. I've also just stumbled across this, which we left running, and we've got 61 industrial grade graphite ore. I think what I'm going to do is just move this to another location. A lot of this is easier if you can just sort of stand AFK for a bit, so I think I'm going to put a hopper on top of here so we can put in the rest of the items that we want to upgrade. Then it's just going to hopefully automatically go into that slot and get done. I've just learned something rather important. At the moment I'm upgrading the bow. If we pull it out of here again and hold down control when we're hovering over it, we can see the upgrades. So we've done 2 of them so far. The one I just did was draw speed, and I noticed that this thing stayed over here because, of course, I've crafted loads of these different types, although I thought I crafted a whole stack of those. I did. I definitely did. Let's go back here a second, because if I drag that there, aha, we have a whole stack. So what I haven't noticed is that they haven't been taken from over here. But now that I'm doing one at a time, I'm seeing that actually it doesn't take this away, so you get to keep it each time you do it. So you only need one of these different upgrade things, which means actually that this isn't going to take me so long to make now. And I'm glad I learned that, because the next thing I was about to do was start crafting all of this armor. It is taking me a long time to do this stuff, and I don't think we're going to be able to fight the Chaos Dragon today, but I have been doing my research. Arrow speed is the next one. And what I've learned is that, based on watching other people fight the Chaos Dragon, We seem to have more RF down here than other people have, so that's fantastic. But we are way behind on armor points. Other people have them up in the thousands. So we got a long way to go. And I'm just going to sit here and continue doing more crafting, you know. I'm just sitting here doing them one by one. It's taking a fair bit of time. So doing these upgrades gets a little simpler when you do them one tier at a time. And also you can hold down control to see what tier you're at. So I can never say that word, but you can see, oh, that one's got movement speed. And that one's got jump boost, but we're all on that level so far. This one, of course, gone all the way up to Draconic, and then on that one, we're at the Wyvern one again. So we're going to do Draconics for all of these, which means we need a whole bunch of these Wyvern cores, which is something that I have to make by the stack all the time. So I figured, let's do a little experiment. We've got 9 ingredients. We can put 9 on either side. Does that mean I can then put emeralds in here? Oh, it's an invalid recipe because it's probably seeing 18 ingredients instead of just 9. I was hoping we could put a stack in there and then just put another stack up the top and then let it run, you know. So if I really wanted to automate this, I guess I could look into using Ender IO item conduits over the back here with some power ones as well. But for now, I'm just going to stick to doing it manually. So we remove the last one, and straight away it starts going. So all's looking good now, fully upgraded. Everything is Draconic with exception to a couple of things we're not upgrading. Also this is fully Draconic. That is as well. We've got 2,000 hit points of shield, 1 billion RF down there as well. Yeah, looking really good. I'm just wondering now, what other things do we need to consider when we fight this Ender Dragon? If you've got any suggestions, leave a comment down below. I thought of something myself, which was Supremium apples. I mean, the absorption will be good. The strength, resistance, and regeneration might help against this Ender Dragon as well. So leave a comment down below with your suggestions. I'm pretty sure the next episode we're just going to run right into it and fight the Chaos Dragon. So I'll read your feedback and then we'll go and do it. But that's where I'm going to end this one. It's taken me a silly amount of time to craft up all this stuff, but it's done now. We're ready for the fight, I think, and so we'll do that in the next one. But yes, if you've enjoyed this episode, leave a like on the video. As always, thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one where we should be taking on the Chaos Dragon. Anyway, ciao for now. Bye bye.